I'm delighted to be here today to share with you a little about who we are, what makes us different, and how we can support you and your students. I'm also joined today by some of my colleagues, Donna Kirkwood, Head of Art, Design and Communication, Natasha Pitri Gilbich, Head of Business and Management, Daniel Polidano, our Director of Admissions. Online with us, we also have Frank, our Admissions Advisor, and Adriano De Prato, our Campus Director. Before we begin, I'd like to start with an acknowledgement to country. LCI Melbourne acknowledges the Wurundjeri Woi Wurrung peoples of the Eastern Kulin Nation as the traditional custodians of the land upon which our campus is located. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. I also want to warmly welcome each of you. Your work as career practitioners is so important, and we value the partnership we share with secondary students. The advice and guidance you provide to young people and their families has a real impact on the pathways they choose. We see this as a shared responsibility, working with you to help students step into futures where their creativity and talents can flourish. A little bit about LCI and the 3 A's. LCI Melbourne is a boutique higher education provider specialising in art, design, fashion and business. We pride ourselves on being different by design, which Donna will explain further shortly. And that difference is captured in our 3 A's. Affordable. We're proud to offer the best value in Australia's private creative higher education sector with fully accredited degrees that don't come with a premium price tag for domestic students, and they have access to full fee help. We're accessible. We're located in Melbourne's creative hub of Collingwood, and our small cohorts and personalised approach means students receive close mentoring, and our model supports both neurodivergent and neurotypical learners. Our courses are accelerated. Students can complete a bachelor's degree in just 2 years, giving them a head start into industry without gaps or delays. At our core, we empower identity, mastery, and meaningful careers, preparing students not just for jobs, but to lead lives of impact. The impact of choosing different. When students choose LCI Melbourne, they choose to be different by design, and that difference shows in their experience and outcomes. Our students consistently rate us above the national average in the Quilt Student Experience Survey. 85% overall satisfaction, with the national average being 77. 94% is for student support, and the national average is 76. 91% for teaching quality and 83% for skill development. I think that really is an amazing testament. Behind these numbers are stories of students who thrive in an environment that encourages their individuality, nurtures their creativity, and equips them for real-world practice. So when our students and your students choose LCI Melbourne, they are choosing a pathway that is creative, industry-connected, and future-focused. I'm going to continue to talk to you now about our fashion and costume degree. Darren Arabanganda is the head of our fashion and costume department here at LCI Melbourne. He has a history in creative industries with a background that extends, and is quite illustrious. This major in fashion blends traditional craftsmanship with digital innovation. Our students in the fashion area not only learn how to design garments, but also how to position themselves in an evolving global industry. What our students learn from our second trimester, they fully get immersed in hands-on studio practice, as do all of our courses. Practice-led is really the name of the game here, and different by design. They learn about silhouette, garment construction, illustration, trend forecasting, and sustainable design practices. Our curriculum balances conceptual exploration with technical mastery, and students graduate with both creativity and practical skills. And importantly, every student builds a professional portfolio of their work. It's a showcase of work they can take directly to industry, whether applying for roles or establishing their own brand. Industry connection is really essential in the creative industries. One of the things that makes our program unique is our direct industry connections, which you can see as part of our trimester 5, which continues into trimester 6 of self-focus. We're proud partners of the PayPal Melbourne Fashion Festival and Melbourne Fashion Week, which give our students exclusive opportunities to showcase their work on major professional stages. These partnerships aren't just visible. They're about giving students the experience of working to real briefs, collaborating with professionals, and seeing what it takes to thrive in a fast-paced creative environment. Many of our graduates tell us these experiences were the defining moments of their studies, when they realised they could see themselves in this industry. The graduate pathways from our fashion and costume major go to diverse roles, and some of those include being fashion designers, costume designers, textile designers, pattern cutters, garment technicians, fashion buyers, to name a few. And some go into fashion marketing, trend forecasting, sustainable fashion consulting, and or visual merchandising. So it is a really breadth of professional practices they can go to once they've graduated. It's a discipline with endless pathways, whether students want to work in established houses, launch their own label, or explore emerging fields like sustainable design and digital fashion. With Australia's fashion and textile industry contributing more than $27 billion to the economy and employing close to 500,000 people, the opportunities are both broad and continuously growing. We also offer a diploma of fashion design. So for students who may need a shorter or more focused entry point, we also offer the diploma. This is a one-year qualification that develops technical and creative foundations in garment construction, textiles and branding. It's an ideal stepping stone for students who want to enter the industry sooner or who may want to build skills and confidence before moving into the Bachelor of Design Art. Successful completion of the diploma provides credit towards the degree, meaning students can continue their studies without losing time. It's a great pathway for those students who are passionate about fashion but might not yet be ready to commit to a full degree. Thank you. And now I'll head over to Donna Kirkwood, Head of Design, and I'll hand this over to Donna, Head of Art Design and Communication.
Oh, Donna, you're on mute.
You're mute.
Good morning, everybody. It's probably easier if you can actually hear my voice when I speak. I'm Donna Kirkwood. I'm the Head of Art Design and Communication here at LCI Melbourne, and I'm going to share with you some insights on our flagship degree, our Bachelor of Design Art. So the Bachelor of Design Arts is actually a fast-tracked program, so your students can complete their degree in just 2 years, giving them a head start to any job or design industry in the market. And there's also no ATAR requirement. They won't even face those traditional exams. Instead, all assessments are hands-on and portfolio-based, which means they graduate with tangible work they can show to their employers. They can also choose out of a 6 stream of disciplines. So there would be graphic and digital design, interior design, visual arts, filmmaking and photography, or interactive design, which are all taught by industry professionals. And that's an important part to share, that they'll be learning directly from the people who are active in the field and not just from those textbooks. Our degree is different by design, and we run 3 trimesters a year. Of each trimester has a clear theme, from exploration, foundation, issues, global, industry, and then to self. For your students, that means that studies feel more connected and more purposeful, and every subject linking back to the professional practice. It's a balance of knowledge, skill, application, so that you leave with the ability to think creatively, work collaboratively, and deliver on real-world briefs. You can tell them that every project is industry aligned, and that every skill that they'll learn, they'll be able to use that in their careers. The Bachelor of Design Arts is a fast-tracked program, so students can complete their degree in 2 years, giving them that head start. And I'm going back onto the same page again, aren't I? I am too. Sorry. The creative industries are growing fast, and that's good news for the students. Graphic and digital design is the biggest part of our Australia's creative economy, with strong demand for graduates in branding, advertising, publishing, and digital media. The games industry is expanding worldwide, creating opportunities for students in graphic and digital design and visual arts through to concept art, animation, and user experience. Film and TV production in Australia is booming, which is great for our filmmaking and photography major students looking to be videographers, editors, producers, or content creators. And our interior design are expected to grow by almost 20% in the next few years, opening doors for interior design graduates to work in residential, commercial, and exhibition spaces. So no matter what discipline that your students are interested to choose, they'll graduate and work locally or perhaps internationally, freelance, they might start their own business or join established creative teams. And what's even more exciting is that our students don't just complete a major, they also do a sub-major of their choice, which means they can focus on their main discipline, like graphic and digital design or interior design, while adding a second area of expertise, such as filmmaking and photography, visual arts, or interactive design. It's a fantastic way for your students to broaden their skills and make them more versatile and stand out within that job market. For example, graphic design majors and a filmmaking sub-major could move seamlessly between branding projects and video content creation, giving them more career options and more value to their employers. So as we move on to our pathways and our next steps, for students who need a little bit more time to build their skills or perhaps build their confidence before starting and embarking on a degree, we offer a 1-year diploma in graphic design. It's a strong foundation that focuses on practical design tools and techniques with the option to transition directly into our Bachelor of Design Arts with credit points that apply once they're ready. So when you're advising your students, you can present them with 2 clear pathways. They can jump straight into the degree, or they can begin with the diploma as their stepping stone. So on behalf of Arts, Design and Communication, and certainly the wrong page that I read before, I'd now like to introduce you to Natasha, our Head of Business and Management. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. Hi, everyone. I'm Natasha, Head of Business and Management, and I'm going to introduce to you our newest degree for 2025, the Bachelor of Business and Innovation. Thank you. So our Bachelor of Business and Innovation is 60% a business and management degree with a real entrepreneurial lens. At the heart of the program, we really combine knowledge, skill, and application. But also it's very important to note that the world of business is changing and the future generations are wanting a more entrepreneurial lens when it comes to business, as an article came out in October in The Age Australia that actually mentioned VCE units being chosen by students are becoming more of the entrepreneurship ones. And I think that's really important to note right now with our degree, because yes, this degree is a business degree. However, it does merge creativity and entrepreneurship, within the degree, which really helps our students apply and synthesize what we need to from an academic perspective, but also from an industry perspective too, to really gauge what business is all about in the current day. Again, it is a fully accredited business degree. It's different by design, as I just mentioned, and we are all about creating opportunities for students to not only become innovators for their own businesses, but to also implement innovation in businesses that they choose to work for in the future. It's very important to note that there are no traditional exams, so you must tell your students that. Assessment is project-based and practice-focused, so students graduate with real-world outputs and confidence in applying what they've learnt. So as you can see from our course map, the architecture is exactly the same as the Bachelor of Design Arts. However, our first year really focuses on business principles, with a little bit of entrepreneurship mixed in between, because we always need to get our students ready with the right mindset to enter the business world. And then in year 2, we go into global entrepreneurship, getting them ready for an international perspective, because as you know, the world we're global and we're connecting in more ways than one with technology and the emergence of AI. And then we also then do our startup lab, where our students have the ability to create their own startups in class with mentors that are also from the industry that can really assist them in launching their businesses, but also at the same time harnessing the students that want to go and work for other companies in management and business. It's also important to factor why this matters, because by 2030, it's expected that there will be a net increase of 78 million jobs globally, driven by new industries like AI, I just mentioned, renewable energy and fintech, alongside changes in demographics and our global economy. At the same time, 92 million current roles are expected to be displaced. So we really need to give our students valuable skills for the new world of business, and that is adaptability, creativity, and the confidence to turn ideas, whether it's for themselves or other companies, into opportunities. Our Bachelor of Business and Innovation equips them to do exactly that, preparing our graduates not just to participate in the future economy, but to help shape it. So as you can see on the screen, there are quite a few roles that graduates can go on to. And some of them include business development managers, marketing strategists, consultants, founders, startups, even social enterprise, UX business strategists, account managers, e-commerce managers, and even roles that could be created in the next few years due to the rise of AI, like I mentioned. Again, Australia's creative and cultural industries alone contribute to 122 billion each year to the economy, and it's where many of our graduates make their mark. It's also important to note that from our Bachelor of Design Arts that Donna was explaining, we've also introduced our sub-major from entrepreneurship. So we are starting to really create that connection across the degrees that give that opportunity to the future creative entrepreneurs of this world, which really sets our courses apart. Students just don't learn with theory, as we mentioned. They have direct access to academics who are themselves entrepreneurs and practitioners and actively work in the fields. However, our classes are workshop based as well, which is quite interesting because we apply the theory in real world settings and allow our students to really activate that type of thinking and to really harness the, I guess, physical aspects of creating a business and also working within a business, and enabling them to see how the theory can actually apply in real world settings. In short, it's not just about preparing students for existing jobs, it's about preparing them to create and lead the jobs of the future. And I will now hand you over to Daniel, our Director of Admissions. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Natasha, Kate and Donna. And lovely to see a few of you online this morning, familiar names, which is fantastic. I know there's a few events on with other institutions this week as well, so really, really appreciate you joining us this morning. a bit about life at LCI Melbourne. So on top of the fantastic opportunities that the team have mentioned this morning, for those that haven't been to our campus or brought your students to our campus, it is a thriving community. We offer really small class sizes to our students as well, and that provides them the opportunity to have tailored support from our mentors. You know, there's not that big lecture theatre environment that they walk into, and it can be quite overwhelming. Where here, you know, the academics know the students by name, they know where they're at in their journey, and they can become sort of their own cheerleader within that space, and making sure that they're on that journey with the student to empower them to grow within their field. We have opportunities for internships and industry connections, which the team have mentioned as well. And so on the screen, you'll see some of the wonderful placements and opportunity that the students have had access to. In particular, I'll mention Football Australia, who we partner quite strongly with, and they offer 2 internships per year as part of the partnership that we have for our students to join them and thrive within. So we've just had a student return who is a graphic design student who was placed with their marketing team for 6 weeks and has built that connection within that space. On top of that, our campus has a whole range of activities and events right throughout the year, ranging from exhibitions, performances, and industry collaborations as well. As you enter into our campus, we have a gallery space that operates as an event space as well. And so here we have, you know, quite high-profile exhibitions. We have runways throughout the year, and also for those that lead career groups or meetings within your schools, it can function as an event space as well. So if there is interest in hosting events here, welcome the conversation with myself or the team, because we'd love to have school groups and school teachers through the campus as well. If you would go to the next slide. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, fantastic. So we've also seen fantastic student success quite recently as well. So please excuse some of the formatting on this slide. This was a last-minute upgrade last night because we've had such great news come through. So our campus is the home to the Australia's Graduate of the Year, Sarah Smith, who was recognised by the Design Institute of Australia as the nation's top emerging designer. So that's particularly in that graphic design space, but in fashion throughout the spring season and the spring carnival, we've had really fantastic accolades. So we had multiple winners at the Australian Fashion Awards for 2025. We had 8 students featured as part of Melbourne Fashion Week's student runway, and then the big one as part of Fashions on the Fields for Derby Day. We placed 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Our students placed 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the Vogue Emerging Designer Awards. So a fantastic opportunity for our students. They've, you know, really cemented their name within the industries that they're looking to enter into, and that's built around the connections that our mentors bring into the courses. You know, our students are given that opportunity to apply and present themselves within their disciplines, and our mentors really go above and beyond to support them within the spaces that they're looking to grow into. So in terms of access and entry into the course, we do have 3 intakes per year. So we have a February, June and September intake, and you'll have seen in the course maps presented, this in the Bachelor of Design Arts and the Bachelor of Business and Innovation in particular allows for the courses to be fast-tracked. So they're 2-year courses. And domestic students can study full-time or with support from our student experience team, part-time equivalent as well, as they balance, you know, any work or personal commitments as well. So for our Bachelor of Design Arts and our Diploma of Fashion Design and Graphic Design, we just require Year 12 for entry. And that can be VCE, VCE VM, or unscored VCE as well. Students who have completed the units that are listed there can bypass an admissions consultation. And so that's an informal interview that each student will have with our admissions advisor, but those that have completed that those particular units do not need to meet that requirement for entry. Those units sort of meet that through there, and we mark those that have come through VTAC with those grades as not requiring the admissions consultation. For the Bachelor of Business and Innovation, there is a 60 ATAR score for those from regional locations or those that have, entering with C's requirements. We can look at entry as a 50 ATAR score, but we'll need some, the formal C's documentation to go through, which we'll view and verify. But it is that 68-hour equivalent, and an admissions consultation is not required. And if you are counselling international students, there is a proof of English proficiency requirement, but if they are completing at Year 12 schools within Victoria, then they've met that requirement as well. One of the things that is mentioned here as well, but I'll sort of touch on, is that each student when they're being, they apply to LCI Melbourne, is given their own personal admissions advisor. And so we have the wonderful Frank, who's online this morning, but also Zoe Cameron, who is also a part of the team. And they work with the students to invite them along to campus if they haven't been here, to touch base with them virtually or in person, whatever the student is more comfortable with, and support them through the journey with documentation, any questions, with access to our mentors as well. And so, applying to post-secondary study can be quite daunting for our students. We know that. And so it's really providing that support that, as I mentioned, as they're coming into the course, that support doesn't just end with admission, it continues right on through. So we have the mentors who work really closely with the students, and then we have a student experience team here as well, who run a whole range of events and personalised study opportunities for students too. So the team right across the journey really do go above and beyond to provide that best-in-class service to our students, whether that is prospective or they are joining us. Students can apply through VTAC, and so they are welcome to preference us. We've seen quite a number of preferences coming through for all our courses, but if they are just wanting LCI Melbourne, they can also apply directly to us. So they're the options for the students. If you continue forward, Frank. One of the things that Kate mentioned as part of the fashion discipline is that we participate in PayPal Melbourne Fashion Festival's independent program, and I'm very excited to say that we are featuring again in 2026. And I can't say too much at the minute, but I will say that it is shaping to be a fantastic display of our students' work, and quite a high profile event, which will definitely sell out. It sold out this year as well, and it marks a really exciting opportunity within our calendar. Each school participating, who has registered for this morning, I should mention, has access to 5 complimentary tickets as part of that. So if you are interested, there is a QR code for you to fill in, and the team will be in touch with details. Alternatively, if you don't have your phone on you or you're a little bit busy, Frank will shoot you through some details around this opportunity. Given it will sell out, we've just got a couple of weeks to lock in these complimentary passes. So if you do have students who are really keen and interested in fashion, highly recommend they come along for the event. It will run from around 12:30 to 2 o'clock, and will be an amazing display of our student work. So recommend anyone in fashion come along. And into the next slide, as we enter into change of preference, we know that students can have that go into a little bit of panic mode. We're here, like I said, to be that support for their students and are running campus tours, virtual conversations with students throughout that change of preference period. So we are open Thursday, Friday as normal, but we'll also be open on Saturday morning for campus tours with myself, Frank or Zoe. When the December round offers are released on the 23rd, we will remain open until the 24th. So students will still have access to the admissions team right up until that point, and we'll be working through that Christmas, New Year's on alternate days as well, and then kicking back off from the 3rd of January. So we are around, we're here to support yourself or your students, and there is a change of preference web page that is available on the QR code there that you can access. But again, Frank will be in touch with the details around our change of preference hours as well. Biggest thing to mention is for students not to panic. We've got you. Is the message that I give to each of them. We have accessible entry requirements for them, and once they're here, they thrive in our campus and with our mentors by their side. That's all in terms of the formal questions presentation for this morning. I've just seen that Jennifer has included a question around the slides. Yes, absolutely. These will be distributed to each person who was registered for this morning, as well as the recording. So absolutely, we'll be fine to share those across. Were there any additional questions from the audience? There's a Q&A chat bar to the right-hand side of Teams if you do have any questions. I'm not sure with the webinar functionality, sometimes you can and can't come off mute and speak. So if you can, feel free to. But any questions or from the team that I have online this morning, was there anything else you wanted to add from us that we might have missed? Kate, Natasha, Donna, Frank, anything further?
No, all good.
No, all good.
Just wanted to say thank you for hopping online and being part of the LCI community.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And certainly one of the things I haven't mentioned is that, this was the sort of first year that we kicked off our school engagement program. And it's been fantastic to have so many schools visit us on campus, as well as come out to a range of your expos, right from, oh goodness, Frank, where have we been? Right from Albury to Shepparton to all around Melbourne. So it's been really, really exciting. And also having so many students on our campus as well. So Frank will be in touch with the details for booking in if you have expos into 2026. We know some of you schools are really, really organised, so we're really excited to send a staff member or a student out. But we also invite you to our campus. So we run workshop days for our schools. So these work really, really well for year 10 to 12 students, and they are across each of our disciplines. They run for around 90 minutes. So they can be run on campus. Some of them can be run virtually, and we can also run some of them at your school. So I know Donna and Natasha have been out to a couple of the schools as well. So if there is any interest for us to be featured as part of your events on your campus, please get in touch. We're really, really excited to join you and help your events thrive as well. All right. If there's no more questions, like I said, we will be in touch. Thank you so much, Athena. That's fantastic. We'll be in touch over the next day or two with the recording, with the slide deck, and with details on how to get in touch through change of preference and into next year to book in your events. But from the team at LCI Melbourne, best of luck with change of preference. I know that I don't want to shortchange. This period is really, really stressful for career practitioners, particularly as it's so close to Christmas. So I know that there'll be phone calls right up until Christmas Eve, and potentially you may get emails into Christmas Day. So best of luck with the period period. We're here for any of your students, and we're really, really excited to work with you this year and into next year as well. Thanks so
Daniel,
much,
just
everyone.
one last note for everyone.
Yep.
For the career practitioners, is actually still you're still able to register for tonight's webinar as well. So there's the fashion webinar tonight. So if I'll send more further details regarding that. But yeah, if you jump on the website, yeah, you can still have your students register for the fashion webinar tonight as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, we do have a fashion and business webinar, and Natasha will actually be on that panel as well as one of our finalists as part of the Vogue Emerging Designers Awards that I mentioned earlier, and one of our fantastic mentors. So we'll shoot you through those details. Absolutely. Wonderful. Thanks so much, Frank, and to the team this morning. We will see all of you soon, no doubt. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.